I know there's a lot of people out there who really love little doggies. Not me, though. I'm convinced that little doggies are for people who really hate their neighbors. Of course, I've never killed a little doggy, but I do confess to sometimes feeling a little dark side evil like Christy Gnome about it. This is because I had a super barky little doggy chihuahua neighbor for a while who would bark incessantly all day long while I was using a microphone in a home studio trying to record. So the neighbors would leave their little doggy all by itself all day, and it would bark for literally 8 hours in a row. Then at last the neighbors would get home and the dog would finally shut up. But then, being a young couple, there was only a brief pause of silence, and during which time I assumed they were taking off their clothes, and then they would go at each other for literally 3, 4, sometimes even 5 hours in a row. And not lightweight stuff either, like there was plaster raining down in between the walls from all their efforts. I mean, in fairness, I really should give them kudos for their endurance while partaking of carnal activities. But that extremely frustrating, disruptive experience is forever linked to little doggies and their barky kind in my memory. Also, I lived in England for a while, and I would often walk to a pub that I frequented, but along the way, that road would intersect with another road, and down that road, perched atop a set of stairs that led to a house, was a chihuahua, that upon seeing me would come tearing up the street, bark at me aggressively for 10 seconds, then do an about-face, and strut away like he had sure shown me who was boss. That chihuahua never realized just how close it came to being the first chihuahua that ever flew. The only pets worse than barky little doggies that I had for neighbors for a little while were a couple of Siamese cats that would make sounds like the tormented undead coming through my apartment walls. Sounds like or stuff like that. Like, generally cats are lower maintenance and quieter than little dogs, so usually they're okay by me. Well, except for Siamese cats. So anyway, back to little doggies. So I play frisbee and perform music in parks all around the city of Montreal quite often in the summer. And one day I'm in the park and I'm listening to a chihuahua in the distance, barking incessantly for a good 2 hours, until finally it lets out a few strained barks and then blissful silence. And I'm thinking, finally, it ran out of energy. And then I reconsidered and thought, well, I sing outside quite often, and it's a scenario that happens to me quite often. What had actually happened is that little chihuahua had run out of saliva. So to all you little doggy owners who are tired of hearing your own dog bark, or if you are even slightly concerned about the effect that your little dog barking might be having on your neighbors, just keep the little dog completely dehydrated and it won't be able to bark. Blissful silence. Just look out for good Samaritans when you're walking your dog in the park.